Welcome to another episode of EV Rider.
I've got Jimmy McGovern with me. He is the very first person to take delivery of a Rivian R1T here in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's coming up right after this. EV Rider is more than just videos. Get the stories, photos, swag, and even free smartwatch faces on the web at evrider.tv.
Now, Jimmy is a pickup truck aficionado. Your last pickup was a Tundra.
Titan.
Titan,
Yeah,
Titan, okay.
2017 Nissan Titan.
So
Correct, yep.
Let's start by comparing the Titan and the Rivian. Obviously, they're very different animals, but taking the powertrain out of the equation, tell me a little bit about the Rivian, how it compares to a traditional pickup.
Honestly, interior size-wise, not much different. Because there's a lot traditional, untraditional drivetrain with an EV. They're able to basically stretch things out and space out the interior. So just from an interior standpoint, it's very similar in size. Even with the underseat storage, which I did have in my Titan, this is just a lot bigger.
Now, you also are a Tesla Model S owner, so talk to me a little bit about how Tesla and Rivian compare in terms of technology, build quality, and ride.
So the ride is a lot different. I'll start with ride. Ride can be a lot different just because we do have the 21-inch turbines on our Model S, and it is just a 75, so the rear-wheel drive only. But I mean, as far as quickness and pep, I mean, the Tesla does still have it, even though it is probably the slowest Tesla they made for 2017. But when it comes to comfort and interior comfort, I definitely prefer this over the Tesla. The seats are a lot more comfortable to me and my wife. If she were here, she'd tell you the same thing. And then probably the biggest thing that we have in this that we don't have in the Tesla is the cooled seats, which you and I are both enjoying right now.
Yes, we are.
Extremely hot outside.
Yeah, in fact, according to your thermometer, it's 93 degrees outside, and when we first met today, it was right around 99 degrees. Yes. So we believe we're going to have a record hot day here in Jacksonville. That was what was forecast this morning, and it looks like it's proven true. So one thing I can say right out of the bat, the Rivian's AC, nice and cool.
Oh, yeah.
So it passes that basic test with flying colors. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about build quality. Now, of course, you don't have the latest and greatest Tesla with the redesigned interior, but your Model S, how does the build quality compare to the Rivian, which of course is in its first model year?
Right. So, full disclosure, we've obviously we've had this thing taken in for service to have some of the panel gaps fixed. But I would say, comparing what we have with our Tesla and what we're in right now with the Rivian, the Rivian, I would say, is already in better shape, quality-wise.
Okay.
It just feels better. Like shutting doors isn't. It's just a solid, it just feels solid. It's really hard to put into words other than like when you act, especially not, experiencing it in person. I mean, you can shut a door and hear it on camera, but it's not going to give you the same feeling as if you hear it and hear it in person.
And given how low the production so far is of Rivian, any idea what number production vehicle you actually have?
So we are, our VIN is 1,988. Yeah, so here's the power tonneau, power drop tailgate. So you got lights, as you can see, on both sides, air compressor kit on this side. Here's your gear guard cable, like I showed earlier, that I keep in the bed or in the frunk of the truck. Like I said, your air compressor hookup. Here is your full-size spare. If you didn't opt for the full-size spare, this space would be empty, and you would have right below here is a drain for another cooler type option. So you'd have, or just any type of dry storage. If you just wanted to put bags in here for a road trip or whatever, there's plenty of space for more gear. Yep, so on this side, we've got the two 120 outlets. You got the two 120s here as well. The power frunk is a great feature, and the amount of storage you get in said frunk is awesome. Plenty of room for your mobile charger. I keep my gear guard cable in here as well. 12-volt power for any electronics that you might need to charge, as well as a one-way valve over here if you had any wet gear, or if you did want to turn this thing into a cooler. This lifts right up, and then now you've got nothing but plastic. If I were to take the mobile charger out and the gear guard cable for any type of wet clothes, ice, waters, sodas, whatever you'd want to store in there. And then just like it power opens, it power closes, which is a great feature. And then probably my favorite though is the gear tunnel. You really can't go wrong with the use of space. The use of space here, like a conventional vehicle that has a fuel tank and everything else is going to be in here. Your exhaust system is going to be taking up a lot of this space. The ability to create functional storage for whatever, golf clubs, strollers, man, you name it. The sky's the limit with what you can put in there, as well as some of the actual Rivian accessories. So like the gear shuttle, as well as the camp kitchen once they start producing that. And then, as many of you guys have seen from the videos, it's load bearing, so you can stand on it, get onto the roof rack, get whatever you need here, get stuff in and out of the bed, or sit down, take your gear off while you're dirty and wet, put some new shoes on or new boots, whatever the case may be. And then in each of the doors, there's also storage. So in this instance, we've got the air compressor kit is on this side, and then on the other side is the first aid kit. There's also power outlets on both sides, 12-volt outlet here, and then a 110 outlet on the other side of the gear tunnel.
Jimmy, tell me a little bit now about how the infotainment compares to Tesla. Is it on par? I mean, that's one of the things that Tesla is really renowned for, is its software.
Right. I mean, I would say if you were to compare them as they sit right now, the Tesla is definitely got it Rivian beat. Here's the navigation. They do have like a satellite view, which is pretty sweet. Super snappy, as you can tell, even with the satellite view. So here's Spotify. We do have an FM tuner, nice old school tuner, which is a pretty cool feature. The only native app is going to be Spotify.
Rivian doesn't support Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, so in-dash apps like PlugShare or Waze are a no-go.
So that right there, this is going to be all your drive modes. So whether all-purpose is the mode we're in now, you got all-purpose, sport, it's going to want to lower. So sport automatically starts lowering the vehicle. You've got conserve, which mechanically disconnects the rear motors, and then you end up with a little over a 400 horsepower front-wheel drive pickup truck, and it obviously allows you to extend your range as well. You have off-road mode, which will raise the truck back up to anything from 11.5 inches of ground clearance all the way up to 15. And then within off-road mode, you've got auto, rock crawl, rally, and drift modes. And within each of these modes, you also can change your ride comfort level, your brake regen, as well as your stability control.
One of the things that we didn't get to do in this episode is a 0 to 60 run, but I understand it is pretty impressive. Tell me about that.
The only word that comes to mind, honestly, is violent. It is a ton of fun. You'll be smiling the whole time.
Yeah, and the only reason we didn't get to that mode is, of course, we never want to be unsafe on public roads, and we're doing this episode during afternoon rush hours, so that's the only reason we didn't get around to trying a 0 to 60.
Yep.
You know, it's been a lot of fun getting a chance to experience the Rivian with Jimmy, but for those of you that want more, Jimmy and his buddies have started both a website and a YouTube channel. It's rivianstories.com and the Rivian Stories YouTube channel. So anybody that's interested in Rivian, you'll find a wealth of information there, a lot more than what we talked about today. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a like on my YouTube channel and subscribe to EV Riders so that I can bring you more adventures in EV motoring with trucks, cars, motorcycles, and just about anything that's powered by electricity on wheels. Thanks so much for watching.